Good morning. Rhodes and I are here to discuss the impact of coronavirus or COVID-19 on markets and how this might be affecting the investments that we manage for you. So Rhodes, fair to say that some investors might be a bit nervous at this time with the impact of this virus and their portfolio?
Yes, good morning everyone. It's typical in a crisis. We think we should be doing something. It's normal reaction, and it's normal to worry about the unknown. First of all, I want to assure you that we're looking closely at the impact that the virus is having on markets and on your portfolios. And I'm happy to report that portfolios are doing really well, Jared. And they're doing what they're meant to do at times like these. Diversification is a wonderful thing. What do they say? It's the only free lunch in investment. Now, the US share market is down around 13% over less than 2 weeks. But it was up 2% overnight, so down about 11% in the last 2 weeks. The New Zealand share market has fared better. It's down 7% over the last 10 days. Now, what's the impact on portfolios? Because remember, diversification is spinning this right across a number of different investment types and currencies. So portfolios were down about 2% to 5% from its peak 2 weeks ago, depending on your risk profile. And that's about even since the beginning of the year, or to the highest risk profile, around 3.5% down since the beginning of the year. But the New Zealand dollar is down 4%, which means that at least half of your international investments are up by that 4%, all other things being equal. And bonds are up in value, typically around 1%. So that's helping to protect values where you have bonds in your portfolio. So all in all, diversification is working well. And even though all share markets have been affected together at the same time, they're in pretty good shape, given the global nature and the impact of this coronavirus on the movement of people and goods around the world.
So we're looking at it every day, making sure that the portfolios are doing their job, which they are. Is there anything that investors should be doing at this point?
Yes, there is. There is something that investors could be doing. They should be patient, sit on their hands and do nothing. The problems out there are real, but they're not investment ones. If anything, this represents an investment opportunity. We've heard of 15 and 16-year-olds on their own volition talking about taking their personal savings and getting them into the markets this time. If you're fully invested at the moment, focus on your long-term objectives, and the impact of this coronavirus will blow over relatively quickly.
So Rhodes, I think it's probably fair to say, up until a couple of 3 weeks ago, the world economy was in a pretty good position.
It was. Less than 2 weeks ago, we had share markets at record highs for good reason. Jobs were being created hand over fist in the US. China was coping pretty well. Europe had turned the corner. New Zealand was performing better, especially in the housing markets. So to finish this podcast, once the coronavirus works its way through from contagion to containment and then on to cure, we should see markets reacting very quickly. And so your job is to stay invested so that you can get that recovery when it comes.
Thanks, Rhodes. Well, I've actually got a graphic here that I'll just move aside and we'll pop that up. Now, nothing's new in the world of investment and the world of viruses. We've been here all before. As you can see, there's been a number of them over the last 20 or 30 years. And the takeaway point of this is, whether it's swine flu or SARS, they didn't really have any long-lasting effect on portfolios. The key thing is stay invested, stay the course, don't panic, don't let your emotions get in the way. If you have any questions, we're here to help, so give us a call. We'll be posting an article on this subject this afternoon, so jump onto our website, www.phwealth.co.nz, and find the article, and we'll go into a bit more detail there. Thanks very much for listening.
And you'll see even from the drops in the graph here, none of those were caused by epidemics. There are always some other investment reason for the volatility on that graph. Many thanks, Jared.
Thanks, Jared.
And goodbye all.